Alright, y'all. I'm gonna try and keep this as quick as possible. My videos have been pretty long, and I'm not trying to be a long video maker. Alright. My operation was Friday the 12th. About the visa. I don't know if it's because I was coming from Florida or because they wanted cash. It seems like everything that goes on in Istanbul or in Turkey, they want cash. And they try and give you back Turkish money because they don't have the American money. Our money is maybe 6 or 7 times the amount of theirs. Get as much change as possible. In preparation, because I knew there was going to be other stuff I wanted to buy, I went with an extra $700 to $800 because I just was like, I'm gonna get whatever it is that I can get that's gonna help me out. For that visa, I was not able to get it online. I tried everything. I tried 3 or 4 times to apply it. I could not get through online. Other people were. Personally, I could not. When I got to the airport, they rerouted me to another line. It was 30 bucks. Done deal. That was it. You have to understand that the Turkish food is going to be very light. The breakfast that they served us the day of the operation was very, very light. I react differently than other people. There were other guys that were there. They said the same thing. Yeah, the breakfast was light. But the difference with their reaction to mine was they were very hungry. Like, when lunch came around, they wanted to scarf it down. Like, they just sat there and ate everything. I felt full. Like, I could not eat after... I don't know if it was my excitement for getting the transplant done. I don't know if the... I can't remember in my head right now if they gave the anesthesia before that happened. I think they gave the anesthesia after. But I could not eat for the life of me. I could not eat the food. I ate 2 bites and I just felt sick. I didn't feel good. It wasn't with my system. It wasn't good with my system. So the breakfast was very light. They give you like eggs. It is comped, but it's a very light breakfast. My advice to you, either exchange your money for Turkish cash at the airport or come with smaller bills. I went with big bills only, hundreds and fifties only. So it was very hard for me to get money, to spend money and get money back. So what I suggest to do is have at least $100 in 20s, 10s, and 5s and singles, and then you're good. You know what I mean? What else? There was another question. All right. I went into shock. The anesthesia did not work for me. I don't know if it's the brand of anesthesia they're using or if it was my lack of sleep from the flight. Because you got to understand, I flew the night before, flew in, didn't rest. Because you can't really rest. You're too excited. You're in a completely different country, a different time zone. You know what I mean? It's hard to sleep on the plane. And it's just hard. Get as much sleep as possible. Eat as much as possible. Because I think that might be where I went wrong. Again, I had a thyroid operation done, so they took half my thyroid out. What the nurses or the technicians were saying to me was that it could either be the lack of sleep, the lack of food, or it could have been my thyroid that messed with it. So, here's what's happening. They come in every couple of minutes to check your blood pressure, you know what I mean, to make sure that they're safe. They're injecting me with this anesthesia, and they're going in with the operation. What they're doing is they're using a drill to drill out the hairs individually. I was feeling it. You know what I mean? So the anesthesia was working in a couple of places, but not all the places. So I started feeling it. So I'm like, nah, bro, you got to give me more anesthesia. Now, the anesthesia, and people say it, but they don't really say it. I felt the needle, and this might be my sensitivity. I felt the needle pierce my skin. And then I felt the anesthesia going into my bloodstream, like going into, like when they push it out, that's an extra pain on top of it. Now, granted, I want to say they were doing at least 10. You got to understand that that's pain over and over again. I'm taking deep breaths. I'm clenching my fist. I'm like trying to breathe through it, like all that shit. But it was, and somebody had to hold my hand. That's how painful this was. And like I said, I've had this sliced open. And after this operation, I had everything, you know, draining slowly for a couple of days. So I understand pain, but this was something else, you know, like it was very painful for me. I don't know if it was my adrenaline. I don't know if it's because I was excited about the operation. Not sure. So that's going on all of a sudden. And granted, everything's done. They injected me. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm chilling. I'm feeling good. They ask me if I need anything. I'm chilling. They come in and do the blood pressure stuff again. I tell them I need to go to the bathroom, but physically what I was feeling was I needed to pee and I needed to poop. I needed to do both of them. Your boy had to go to the bathroom. That's how I was feeling. You know what I mean? I don't know why. They slowly picked me up. they put everything down or whatever. Of course, they're annoyed. That's something that somebody else said too. They're annoyed that, you know, it's a start and stop type of thing. They don't want to do that. I understand. It's an 8-hour operation and you're probably doing this every day, you know? I don't know if their full-time works like our full-time. I don't know how many hours they're working a week. Next thing you know, I'm being lifted. They're like saying, hey, are you okay? Is everything okay? I'm like, I'm fine. I just need to use the bathroom. And they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. So we get out to the hallway and I'm greeted with like a lot of people. I'm like, oh, this is new. What's going on? So then they're like, Sean, we need you to be careful. We need you to lay down. So they sit me or lay me down in the hallway. And they're like, someone's like holding my hand and they're like, hey, just so you know, you're going into shock. Your blood pressure's really high. It's going high really fast right now. When we need you. So I'm like, oh, shoot. I have nurses in my family. I have medical professionals in my family, whatever. My first instinct, and I'm not giving anybody any real like medical advice. What I'm saying is what I did what might have helped them. I stopped, I did not panic, and I started taking deep breaths. I started taking as deep breaths as much as possible. My thing was, I didn't want to start flailing my arms because you gotta lock into the mindset that everyone around you is trying to help you, and it would not help them if something bad were to happen. So, trying to take deep breaths and everything. It's panic because now everyone knows something's going on. There were no less than 16 people in that hallway at that point, and they were kind of all around me, and I'm laying down on the thing. I know to breathe and to be calm and stuff like that. At this point, I'm praying. At this point, I'm praying to God. I'm like, God, God, I know you didn't bring me to this foreign country to die. Lord, just let me survive this. Not like this. That's what I was saying. Not like this, God. Please just don't let me die like this, Lord. Please. I'm so serious. So, these people are panicking and freaking out. They hit me with another IV. Oh, by the way, I'm hooked up to a whole IV. So, while they're rushing me out into the hallway and laying me down, I'm hooked up to an IV, and they have that thing with the wheels. They come up with another IV, inject me right away. Like I said, I'm being complacent, so I'm just like this. Like, do what y'all gotta do, and I'm trying to breathe deeply. When they put the other IV into my system, that's when I felt the heat go up like this. If you go to the gym and you work out, which I do often, I take a lot of pre-workout. It felt like I had just taken a hit of pre-workout. Like my pre-workout just hit it. Like, just hit at that moment. I felt the heat go up like that, and that's when I was like, oh shit, I can't breathe. That's the moment that I felt something was wrong. So before me physically, Sean, knew something was wrong, I had to experience all of this and go through all of this and like, you know, contextualize or, you know, translate what they were trying to tell me and how my body was feeling. Because I'm telling you, my body felt good. Like, I was like, yo, this anesthesia's kicking in. Your boy's good. I didn't feel anything until they put that second IV in. And then I was starting to come down. But to my body, that's when shit shot up. And I physically feel that feeling right now. Just heat rising up like that. And then I couldn't breathe. Then I couldn't catch my breath. And that's when they rush out an oxygen tank and they put me on oxygen. The rest of the operation, I didn't feel anything else. They just had me on oxygen. They just kept trying to, you know, get me good. Every time I had to use the bathroom, which you do because I've hooked up to 2 IVs at this point. They had to go with me and I had to pee in front of someone. Then I had to pee in like a bowl or whatever in front of people. It's embarrassing, you know what I mean? But at that point, you've got to put your ego and pride aside. Listen, these people didn't reach out to me. I reached out to them. I put myself in this situation. I took a flight 12-something hours to go to a foreign country to have this thing done. And now it's taken a turn for the worse. Like I said in my first video, this is a real operation. This is a real surgery. You know what I mean? I believe if I went to any other clinic and I was trying to like short the dollars or whatever the hell, like trying to pinch the penny, I could be dead right now. You know what I mean? Like if that wasn't handled the proper way, as you can minimize it as much as you want to. If that little situation was not handled the proper way, the way these people did, I believe I could have died in a foreign country, and I don't know how my body would even get back. Like, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm not going to think about that. But they did what they had to do. And thankfully, my vanity did not cause my death. That was my biggest fear. All right, moving on. I talked about the going in shock. My semi-advice or whatever. I let the professionals do what they do. Don't cut corners. Don't go to these cheaper clinics. Go to either Asli Tarcan or Hair of Istanbul, like a reputable person, because you don't know how your body's going to react to anesthesia. This is a foreign country. You are going to another country. You have to understand you might react differently to their medication. If they might call it the same thing, you might react differently to their medication. You have to keep that in mind. It's very important and it's very serious stuff. All right. So, extra things. This is something that they recommended that I use. It's these two things right here. It's for the back of your head. They said that my skin was sensitive. My skin was getting sensitive. It was like I had some red patches and stuff like that. They said to put it on there. I don't understand how anybody was able to go through their first couple of days without this. This is a lifesaver. I get it. It was 18 bucks. Get it. Don't even think about it. Get it. Get it and be done with it. God, sorry about that, y'all. My card was full. I had to delete a couple of videos on there. All right. My graph count. In all the chaos, I wasn't able to. All that stuff flew out the window. Like I only want this certain amount of graphs. I only want, like, all that flew out the window. I went into shock. They're like, fuck it. So, I might have been over-harvested. They took about 5,703 grafts in the back and 1,000 from my beard. That being said, my end results look amazing. I really, really hope I'm not butchered. There's a good chance I am. After that situation, if I was able to verbalize, this is the thing, even though I recovered from being in shock, I was too weak to verbalize anything. If I could verbalize anything, I would have told them I don't even want it anymore. Like, that's where I was at. I was like, yo, like, this is wild dumb. Like, traumatizing, you know? That being said, I do not blame those people for anything, because this is my body reacting to meds that they gave me, and you've got to have that mindset. So is y'all ready to die? All right, back on topic. After this stuff was running out, because they mixed both of these, they put it on. It's amazing, lasts forever. Then I got this, an antibiotic. You're not gonna be able to find this specifically unless you have a Publix where you live at. This is an antibiotic ointment plus pain relief, because the level of pain I had, it wasn't itching, it was pain, you know? They gave me painkillers, but they give you like 4 painkillers or whatever. Now, today is, okay, so I got my operation done on the 12th. Today is the 24th. It's been about 12 days. I'm coming up to the point where I can finally start scrubbing this part. They don't let you scrub it. It's like a tap that you have to do. The back is starting to heal enough so that I can put my own stuff on it. I'm going to do my wash right now. And I'm going to use this stuff right here. This, I don't know, it might come up backwards. Yeah, it's going to come up backwards on the camera. It's called Bump Patrol. You can find this at a CVS, at a Walgreens. I use it for shaving when I do close shaves. You scrub your face with some apricot scrub or whatever, regular face wash. Then you take this. You're not going to have any bumps. You could shave your face with some broken glass from a bottle of beer. You ain't going to have no bumps, nothing. This is that stuff. This is that good stuff. There's another one, honorable mention. What is that thing called? Oh, come on. It's another one. It's a popular one that everybody uses. I'm trying to think of what other questions people had. PRP. Someone told me that they paid like $5,500 for PRP. I wouldn't mind going back to Istanbul just to get PRP done once a year. Because then I could explore Istanbul a little more and like that kind of deal. The PRP was, I didn't even feel it. I didn't even realize. The only thing I didn't do, they have this new treatment they're trying to do where it's an oxygen infusion. They wanted to do that, and that's the only thing they were really pushing people to get, and I didn't get it. I was like, I'm not getting this. Like, I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe now at this point. What was I gonna say? I was charged $2,200. It was like, I think somebody else had broken down the price. They were like, it was $1,700 plus $500 for the beard. Nah, they just told me flat out, it's $2,200. This is everything that you get with it. And I was like, bet. You know, there were a couple of people that got more prices. I did go to Hair of Istanbul also to get pricing. They gave me double that price. I want to say it was like 4 or 5K, maybe 6,000. When I was out here, it was 20, when I did the price, because they charge per graft. When I did the pricing, I want to say I went to LA Hair Clinic or something, and they gave me like 25K, 25, 30K or something. I went to a place in Atlanta around the same price, you know. So we're talking 2,200 versus 25, 30K. I haven't seen any results now. This stuff still has to fall out and then grow back and stuff like that. I know for a fact my shit's gonna look nicer than most of the people that come out here. It's just a fact of our country. That's how it goes. I'm trying to think of what else. I wasn't able to sleep. That's another thing. I know people were able to do those pillows. I wasn't able to do that. I had to like stay up and then hopefully sleep sitting up. I had this satin pillow. That didn't work. I felt it yank one of these things out. I felt it yank it out. And I think that's it. I don't recommend going with anyone that might have a medical condition. Because my mom, everyone was mad that I didn't go with anyone. But if my mother went with me and she had a heart attack while I'm going into shock, what do we got? We got 2 dead black people in a different country. Like, dude, is that what you want? Is that what y'all want? You know? So I'm happy I went by myself. And I'm happy I was strong enough to deal with that and go through it. I had plans to have other work done. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. Nobody else went into shock, by the way. During my operation, somebody commented on my videos. If you check, they said that somebody had gone into shock when they were there. I was the only one that went during my time. But I'm going to keep y'all updated, and I'm going to keep this going. I'm going to try and keep these videos short. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. This is already at 5 minutes, so that's it. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever. I'm just going to splice these 2 videos together and upload them. Thanks, y'all.